Hi, everyone. My name is Kerry Morgan, and I am the host of the Epic Holistic Empire Summit. So, the summit is about heart-centered women, entrepreneurs, and females that are giving their time to share with you their 24 hours and understand why they are totally engaged in what is going on in this world we live in today, right? And helping you get through your day. So I have Christine today. She is a healthy living advocate, and she's the author of The Healthy Girl's Guides to Breast Cancer. So her story is amazing, and she's the owner of a non-toxic cosmetic brand, Life on Mars. She's run a ton of marathons and all through this while going through radiation. So she is an amazing woman that wants to share with you a process and a mindset that she has been living her life to get her to this next level. So I'm going to let Christine explain a little bit more that may be going on in our life right now and just touch base on some of these wonderful details that, only the person can share the story that has lived it. So Christine, I'm going to get you on, and please share with the audience exactly who you are and what you do for this world.
Aw, can you hear me, first of all?
Yes,
okay,
I can hear you perfectly.
That's always a little anxiety producing, right? To be sure that on my audio, I've hit the correct links and my audio is working. So, phew. So yeah, I am what I like to call myself a healthy living advocate. I've been living this healthy, I like to call crunchy granola lifestyle now for over 25 plus years. And I am a certified health coach, and I had a private practice that was doing really well. And out of left field, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And it's like, whoa, how did, like this really healthy person get breast cancer? And I decided to go ahead and go with some traditional treatments and some alternative treatments to undergo these cancer treatments and remain healthy and all that other good stuff. But what I realized as I was undergoing cancer treatments was I needed to keep this mentality of feeling good and feeling healthy in my body, even though I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And I blogged through the whole year-long journey of breast cancer, which was surgery, and then it was an alternative version of chemo, and then it was full-on 33 radiation treatments. And while I was undergoing all these things, I was still had this really healthy, happy mentality. And I started writing about it. And all those writings turned out to be the book, The Healthy Girl's Guide to Breast Cancer, which my intention was only to have 10 physical copies of the book. That was it. That was my only goal. I didn't have a marketing strategy. I didn't have an email list. I had nothing. I just wanted 10 copies of the book in my hand. That was my only goal. Well, little did I know that my book was really something that was really needed in the cancer and health and wellness community. And it's become something so much bigger than I could have ever imagined. So now I host an online program called Redefining Healthy. Because what happened was, as I was going around the world talking about my book, I realized regardless if you were going through cancer or not, we all had these visions of what health should be. And notice how I said should be, because everybody has this version of what health is in their head. And my version is different than the girl sitting next to me, than my neighbor. And we came up with this term called Redefining Healthy, which was an opportunity to redefine what it means to be healthy, whether you're undergoing cancer treatments or you're trying to lose those last 5 pounds, or you're in this dead-end job and you want to quit. It's how to feel healthy now in your body, not when. And right now, there are over 1,000 people around the world that have participated in this online 10-day challenge. And that kind of led to various speaking engagements. And then that led to what you had talked about before, which was the non-toxic makeup line, which we will be launching online starting September 14th.
Oh, I love, love, love to hear your story. It is absolutely amazing. And I know so many people can relate to, you know, living with breast cancer, knowing someone that lives with breast cancer, but instead of fully stepping into it and up leveling, they probably like will not want to see anybody and hide, you know, from that incident that has happened to them. So we're going to get right into some of the questions, and just to, I know you understood exactly and you looked up and let us know what was going on with you, and I love that you were sharing that with everyone. So tell me what's your unique gift in this world, because I know a lot of people, you know, don't seem to know what their unique gift is, and I feel like your story, it's like it fell in your lap, right? It was like a process you had to go through, but it also let you see your unique story for the world. Thanks.
Well, that's a loaded question, and I'll tell you why. Because it's really easy for other people to see what your unique gifts are. And I might even be able to say what my unique gifts are, but to actually own it and embody it and feel it deep in my soul and be ready to stand for that is a whole other thing. So I think my unique gift is helping women come to terms with what it means to feel healthy on a daily basis. And I do that by explaining that health comes from within, right? We can't reach for something. It's an internal switch that we can make a choice every day. And I think that is my unique gift to the world, is helping women find that ease and flow in their life. And me as this role model, as someone who did this while undergoing breast cancer, kind of gives that little bit like, if I can do it, if she could do it, then I can do it myself. And really truly owning that story and not being embarrassed to share it or say, who am I to share my story, but fully stepping into that role.
Yeah, that is so powerful too, because, you know, we forget to understand how many people we can help just by sharing our story, right? And that is what people are like, oh my God, there's no way I could ever tell what happened to me. I don't want anyone to know what I've been going through, right? But instead of seeing it the opposite way and the optimistic way on what it can help. So how long have you been in business, and how has your past aligned you to your current business that you're doing right now?
Well, in a really former life, in my early 20s, I used to work for a fast food marketing agency. I worked in advertising for McDonald's Corporation. So
Cool.
I have definitely come full circle as it relates to the health and wellness field. So I definitely think having that marketing background has helped me market myself today. And you know, just my mind just kind of works that way as opposed to a very analytical way. My mind works in more of that creative way. And then I'd have to say the people that I've met along the way, since my book came out to where I am now, I've met so many amazing women who are doing things like I want to do and do on a daily basis, whether it's sending out an email blast, or put together some marketing materials. Just being surrounded with other women who are doing that definitely has helped me get to where I am right now.
And it's been a couple years, right, that you've been in business?
Well, my book, I mean, I had my health coaching business, my private practice was 6 years ago. So I was doing the health coaching, and then that went into the book. And then the book is now into speaking engagements, and then also the Life on Mars non-toxic cosmetic line.
Yeah, and that's so true too. And a lot of people don't realize that the 5 people you spend the most time with are definitely, you know, start to you are in your existence. And I remember Oprah saying that, you know, there's no mistakes that happen, right? So you working for McDonald's, then going totally full circle into like changing people's lives and learning how they should live is, you know, and eat well and just, you know, learn how to make choices from the inside, right? Are just phenomenal. And I love your pictures with all your vegetables and everything. They're so cool. So what is the key ingredient that you have told your clients and or people that you're around that they get results from the fastest time? Something that really made them shift from overwhelm or block, and you made them see the light. Just give like one example so that the audience can, understand a process of how you help people.
Well, I'd say the biggest way I help people is reminding them that they can feel healthy, and it doesn't always come down to the food that you put in your body. I think that's such a misconception for the women that I speak with. I think everybody has this idea that if I drink a green juice and if I'm doing my yoga and I'm meditating every day, then I've achieved health. Well, for so many of the women that I deal with, that's just, you can't go from here to here. So what I help women do is come up with fun ways of feeling good about themselves, and in turn feeling good about their body, and in turn feeling healthy and happy. So fun and unexpected things in a day: a dance party, starting out with movement, starting out with walking, making a list of non-negotiables. So it's all things that are, I'd like to call them the fringe version of health, right? The things that we know are important for us, for our own body, to take us to that next level.
Oh, I totally agree with you 100%. It is an emotional thing. It's an emotional fun, like when you are on vacation or you're at the girlfriend's weekend, and what you feel like after that, like bringing
Yes.
that health concept through that energy, right, through that process. So yeah, that is something that it's really unique that you do that, because a lot of people just say, oh, you need to just, like you said, eat these certain things and you'll be fine. But if your mindset and your energetic lined up with that process, you still may drop back to who you were, or not even get to that next step, or even feel healthy, right? You may eat those things but not actually feel healthy. So how do you master your 24 hours as a female entrepreneur? Let's give me just some key alignments that you use in your biz that makes you feel aligned as, creating the life that you love right now.
Well, in all honesty, we had talked before that I'm in the middle of this launch for the non-toxic makeup brand Life on Mars, and we have a huge event at the end of September at an expo, and then we are going live on the website mid-September. So this has been a very hectic time for me, and I'm doing my best to be in integrity with myself. And what that means is, there are my list of non-negotiables. So I exercise every day. Some days all it is a walk outside with the dog, and other days it might be a 5-mile run. I always have a morning smoothie. That is a non-negotiable for me. It has all my micronutrients that I need to sustain myself up until lunch. And then another non-negotiable for me is sleep. So I am one of those people that is the big party pooper. I am in bed, ready, fast asleep, usually by like 10 o'clock. And then I'm up, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. So if I stay true to those non-negotiables, then the rest can, I can play around with. Some days I might be sitting in front of my computer for 8 hours, and some days that's just not going to happen. And I'm lucky if I could sit quietly for, an hour before people start looking for me, AKA my family.
Yeah. You have a lovely family. Oh my goodness, they are so gorgeous. And that's great that you have built this foundation and blueprints of complete, inner strength, right? Because that foundational movement and that energy that you're building in your body is helping you get to these levels of success. And so we'll go right into the next question. Is almost, it's more about balance and awareness. And I know you did talk about just running and everything, but a daily ritual. So this would be maybe when shit hits the fan in your day, how do you come back to the present? Like, I know you said right now you're in this hectic thing. So give us an example of something that's just boom, 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 and how you walked away and you regrouped and you came back centered and focused.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy question, because that's sometimes the last few weeks, that's been like every day. But it's really having that hard time, meaning like at 4 o'clock, the laptop is getting closed. I don't care what didn't get done. I don't care who's looking for me, whether it be 1 o'clock, the laptop gets closed, the cell phone goes off, and I'm doing something fun. You know, we're still in summer here, especially on the East Coast. You know, it might be going in the pool. It might mean, you know, riding bikes. It might be going down to the beach. And I really try to make a conscious effort that when that laptop is closed, then everything goes down. And that means the phone goes off unless it's an absolute emergency. I try to be very present with my family and my husband. I have 2 of my kids that are going off to college. One already left last week. The other one leaves this week. So I'm very conscious of the time that we spend together as a family, because I know those feelings, everyone's going to be gone. So I think really being present when I am available and present to have fun and be with them.
Yeah, that's just what we were talking about in the other interview, just being present in that time and not, you know, spreading your energy. Like when you see these people at restaurants now, when everyone's on the phone, right? No one's talking to each other. You're like, is this, what's going on, you know? And it's just like so weird. But yeah, to be present in that moment and give the people your time really, you know, helps you build that natural energy inside.
Well, I was just going to say, the other thing is I have a family who will call me on my own crap. So if I'm at dinner or I'm supposed to be with them and I am on the phone, they give me crap. So they help me stay in line. And that's one thing I'm very appreciative for my family, because I might be the one that's on the phone, not the 3 teenagers.
They love you, I'm sure. They just want to spend as much time with you. But that is so beautiful. Can you just break down like a current power day in digestible steps? So maybe you get up at 5 a.m. I know you explained a little bit of it, but just kind of like go through so people could be like, oh my goodness, yes, I can definitely achieve that. I really want to work that process into my life. Or maybe you set an intention, maybe do sales for 2 hours or connection, or, you know, and I remember, which I love, I'm going to get this out real fast, because I won with Christine a mentor hour or 2 hours, and it was the most amazing thing. And I remember taking the one thing away from that you told me was pitch every day, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, like, and you're always, you know, but if you think of it as a pitch, like you just sharing who you are, it doesn't feel so salesy, you know, and you're connecting with someone. So I really love that. And I truly appreciate that, you know, what you gave me. But we'll go back to the question. Yeah. So if you could just explain like one power day and, you know, what that looks like for you.
If we go back to my non-negotiables, every day has to start with those non-negotiables, which is an exercise and a smoothie. Yeah, so like I said, sometimes it's a 5:45 a.m. class, sometimes it's a morning run, sometimes it's a morning walk. And if I ground myself first thing in the morning, I know, and then I do my smoothie, and then I start work. And I wish I was a little bit more scheduled with my time. But there are some things that I do every day. I do pitch every day. And what that means is I really try to think about, like you said, that the stories about me aren't for me, they're for everybody else. So how can I help somebody else in the world today? And some days that might be Christine Egan talking about what safe products can go on your body. Some days it's Christine Egan talking about how she shared her breast cancer story with her kids, telling them that I was diagnosed. Some days it's Christine Egan pitching the idea of how to combine alternative and traditional cancer treatments together. So I really try to take that bigger look of what the story is rather than the minute details. And I will say how important that is now that I'm in the middle of this launch of getting this website together to go online for Life on Mars. Sometimes we get so stuck in the minute details that we forget what that big creative overview is. And I think that it's really important to be surrounding yourselves with other women that can give you that overview, besides just you like doing everything that's on that checklist.
Yeah, well, yes, that's really good, because we do get caught in those tasks that we should try to delegate or just release, right, from our
Yes.
daily existence. And this one question is definitely something that I feel like more women need to realize, because we were just talking about vision. So what vision, because I think you're going to be changing like billions of people, right, with your new line, but what vision do you create and see daily for your ultimate performance in your lifespan, existence, or legacy for worldwide expansion? Like, what is your biggest dream that just like scares you a little bit, but you know that the support you have, you're going to get there? Like, and someone said, yes, do this, right? What is that big, huge vision that you are creating?
Well, honestly, I hold two visions. So the one vision is, I think of myself as this entry-level health person for so many people who are undergoing breast cancer. I think that there are these two very distinct groups. There's this whole alternative group, right, of people who maybe do X, Y, and Z, and it has nothing at all to do with traditional cancer therapies. And then there's this whole other group where you just do everything the doctor says. And I think I fit in this go-between between the two worlds for people. And I'm like this entry-level holistic person, and then this entry-level, traditional medicine person. So I see myself as this bridge for so many people who might be undergoing a cancer treatment. And then the other vision is that whole, again, with health and wellness, but educating people about what we're putting onto our bodies. It's as simple as knowing that there are trace amounts of lead in regular lipstick that we put on every single day. I tell a story of, I had used this ginormous box store size brand of skin lotion that I was using for 20 years on my skin, only to find out that it had parabens in it, which are can affect hormone levels, which is really no good for someone with an estrogen positive breast cancer. So the other goal is really just educating people about the things that they're putting onto their body and how it can affect your health.
Oh my goodness, I am so happy for this. Okay, so right now, because I have, and I think what happens is that our normal is not everyone else's, right?
Yes, yes.
And I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I'm right there with you. I mean, my son's 16, but before that, we had a holistic lady come in. But even when I was younger, I just knew there was just certain things I didn't want to do, like certain feminine things I wouldn't use. You know what I mean? Like certain like deodorants I just wouldn't use. So it must have been like a download that was always in me, because I was so aware, even though we didn't have a lot, that I just, certain things I did not use, right? I'd never wore a lot of makeup, but I never took birth control. Like there were so many things I was just totally against. And it was weird because I stuck true to that no matter if anyone tried to get me on it. And I was like, there's no way I'm shutting down my natural process, because what happens if I do want to have a kid? You know what I mean? And I was like 16, and I was just saying, no way. Like, I'll just won't do anything. I'll just rather not do anything than to, have that chance of knowing something's shutting down my system. It was just so weird. But with, and how I treat my son, I always looked at the ingredients, but we just are, and I did a live stream about this, consuming, right? We're so used to consuming and trusting the other companies to have our back for what we buy, that we just go through life consuming, the products, and our skin is the biggest organ.
Yep.
And, it just absorbs everything that we put on it, whether it's perfume, makeup, lotion, everything, right? So, and this question, everyone's answered it differently, but how do you define spiritual alignment? Because spiritual alignment, like when I was kind of explaining it right now, I guess I finally realized this must be my gift, because my whole past things have lined up to this moment, right? how the decisions I made and what I'd done with food and all my choices. So that for me is a spiritual alignment that I just, no matter what I do, it's always going to be there. So for you, can you please explain in your eyes what spiritual alignment means?
I think for me, the first thing that entered my head when you asked me that is being in integrity. And that means like being the person that I know I am meant to be. It means not putting on airs. It means being there for my family. It means listening and not being that crabby mom. It means being that attentive wife who wants to be there in this relationship. And it means not being stressed as it comes to the people that I serve. It means coming with the confidence and a calm, knowing that the universe has my back to do what I need to be doing. And some days that may be being a mom for the day. For some days that might be being an attentive wife. But for other days, it means serving my community of women who want to redefine what it means to be healthy.
Oh, that is so unbelievably powerful what you said right there, because it's so true. We always have so many roles as a mother, as a parent, but to just really fully understand that process and know that the universe has your back. I love how you said that. I really needed to hear that, right? Because everything like feels like I'm like, okay, Karen, what do you do? And I'm like, it's gonna be okay. You have that really good, strong mindset. Like we all have that space where we know it's gonna be okay. But just to fully just let go.
Yes.
Yes. Say yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that is a feeling. I think it's a feeling of that deep inner knowing. And sometimes we have to go back to that several times a day, especially as an entrepreneur. I mean, there are days where you just sit back and be like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Like, I can't believe, that none of my friends understand that I'm, dealing with the mail system and I'm dealing with this and this, because my regular friends have no concept at all of what I do. And that's when you need those entrepreneurial friends to be like, it's okay. Like, it'll all work out. Those details, you'll get them.
Yeah, I totally get that. That's why I definitely go to a lot of events, just to surround myself that someone that looks at you and understands.
Yes.
Right? Understands your tech issue, or understands your, why isn't this connecting with this? Why isn't this opt-in working? I totally understand.
Yeah.
So this pulls us right into the next question. How have you used technology to grow your business, or how will you, because I know the new website's coming out, so how will you use this new technology to grow your makeup line that you have coming out?
Well, that's a whole, well, okay. We have put together an amazing, amazing launch. There are 3 free gifts when our site goes live, and the 3 free gifts are simply amazing. And then you're into a 7-part nurturing sequence. So there's a lot of giving and a lot of information sharing, and a lot of, but it came really simple. Meaning it was all information that I just couldn't wait to share with people. And I think getting our message out via email, via, newsletter service, with clickable links, I think treating our customers as if they were friends, that I would want them to know this information about products. I think if we keep that mindset, with our business, we can't go wrong.
Yeah, and a lot of people get overwhelmed with just the process of the technology, instead of looking at maybe, okay, you know what, I'm going to ask for help, I'm going to get this, and it's going to make, it will make my life easier, right? Later.
I didn't even get into that. Again, I am really good at the creative stuff. I'm really good at coming up with what the emails need to say. I'm really good at planning out the launch. I really suck at putting clickable links in places. I really suck at putting the whole newsletter together. So I am quite aware of my strengths and my weaknesses, and I am well aware of how to ask for help, because as my husband puts it and reminds me, sometimes it's just better for me to pay my virtual assistant to do things because I know she can do them much faster and smarter than I can do. And I definitely rely on her a lot.
Yeah, it's so true because especially like I'm in my 40s, but I haven't grown up on technology. So it took my mind out. I had to create a space for this, right? A space to be like, okay, this has to absorb in this. I have to create a space in my mind to actually let this work, because our process was just like call somebody on the phone and send a fax, right? It's like a whole different world. And it's good now, especially because we've been entrepreneurs for over 20 years, but to delegate is the most powerful way to sustain a business, to be this amazing opportunity for other people, because your gift is to share your knowledge and your story, not to get stuck behind the computer.
Yes, and it's easy to get sucked into that role, right? We all know that. I know that my time is, I have this amount of time, and the things that I'm really good at are going to happen in that amount of time, and whatever doesn't gets, delegated. And you were talking about delegating to my daughter is really my right-hand person besides my VA. So I literally, before I got on this interview, I said, can you please download these pictures and put them in Dropbox for me? And she's like, Mom, how many times do I have to teach you how to do this? But honestly, it's like, just do it, because I know I can do it, but it's going to take me a half an hour and it's going to take you 5 minutes.
Right, exactly. And you want to make them a beautiful dinner, right? And hang out with them. So.
Well, that was the point, is I was making lunch and it's like, well, I could do lunch or I could put the pictures in the Dropbox. Which one do you want?
They're definitely going for the food. So
yeah.
So we're coming down to the last question, and I would love for you to just share with the audience, how has alignment helped with creating and sustaining abundance and your life? So abundance and wealth can mean any type of abundance, whether it's friends, whether it's relationship connections, or anything like that. So yeah, just can you give an example, please?
Yeah, I think for me, that comes down to knowing my why, right? Knowing, and I've talked to you about this privately before too, is that if I remind myself this isn't about me, my story is for other people, right? So if I just keep that mindset of knowing that I need to share my story because it's going to help somebody else, and it's not about me, it's about the other person, magic happens in my life. The more I put myself out there, the more I share my story, the more people I reach, the greater the opportunities are. And this whole Life on Mars project would not have happened if I had not written a book and if I had not been speaking. And I'm a true believer in each thing happens for a reason. And yeah, that's it.
Oh my, I totally love that. And that process, right? That everything happens for a reason, and I like to explain it as what you're doing right now is automating your brain and your body and your spiritual being and everything, so that when you get there, you're completely ready, right?
Yes.
All these little steps that you're taking. So, that's amazing. I'm so happy, Christine. I wanted to just say thank you so much. And would you please share, before you go, a little bit more about the gift and how the audience can reach you for, your new website or whatever offer that you're having right now, and the new website, and if you have a Facebook page or anything that you want people to connect with, that would be absolutely wonderful if you would just do that.
All right, so I'm going to send you to a couple places. The first place, which would be lifeonmarsbeauty.com. And if you go to that landing page, there's a spot to put in your email address. And the people who are on what we're calling the Life on Mars Insiders will be getting a special offer via email toward the end of September that are just for Life on Mars Insiders, which is a specially priced launch kit with taking over your makeup bag. Remember how we were saying before, how people don't know how to make that leap and what baby steps can we take to get our toxic stuff out and bring our healthy stuff in? Well, that's what that launch kit is all about. And if you sign up now, you'll be one of the Life on Mars insiders. And then the other place that you can find me is redefining-healthy.com. And there is an automatic email sequence, if you put your name in, where you'll have the opportunity to participate in the Redefining Healthy event, which is a 10-day event where I interview all people who have helped me redefine what it means to be healthy. So I do an interview with a sex therapist, I do an interview with a joyologist, I do an interview with a relationship expert, a nutritionist. They're all these 10-minute interviews, and you can sign up for that on the website as well.
I totally love that idea. Like, you're just sharing everything that made you get to this level right now with like millions. And then that's the whole reason I wanted to do the summit, is because I want to be able to mentor to millions of people, right? And let them understand the process of just, you know, knowing it's okay to be a mom, to do all those things, and to change the world, right? And to write books, and to just be in your space, but be visible all the time. So that is amazing. Thank you so much, Christina, for sharing all of your time with the audience. And we're just going to make sure that we have all those links for them in your replay of your episode. And I want to say that this has been an amazing journey, and you have definitely helped me. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I sign up so that I can like support you and, you know, make sure that we get this out there so that it blooms, right? Because I always tell people that seed you plant it, especially for entrepreneurs, is just about to bloom. You know, give it some time, right?
Yes.
We like to rush forward and say, oh my God, why isn't it happening? Oh my God. But, you know, no artist or, you know, the people like Einstein and all those people, it was years of them, right, doing these things and mastering their wealth, and just mastering their abundance, but their mindset. And that's why I wanted to do this, to let people understand that it's your process. What you've done 5 years ago is making you that person right now.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And please, before you go, just share one little nugget of something that you love to just leave people with, your present. So like a statement of you saying, oh my God, you know, a little piece of joy, or something that, you know, will just make people feel amazing every day.
Well, I think you said it before, and I think it's really important for us as entrepreneurs to remember that, number one, it does take time. And number two, you know, the grass is always greener. We don't really know what's going on in that other entrepreneur's life, as opposed to what's going on in your own. And the third thing, and I've said it throughout this whole interview, is the importance of surrounding yourself with other people, whether it be other women or men and women. But it's so important to be able to bounce your ideas off of other people, be able to work through strategies with other people, and just know that other people are dealing with the same things you are on a daily basis. And sometimes we kind of get lonely out there by ourselves, especially if we're online, not really communicating as a group. So I definitely love I do a group call with a group of women from a previous group, that I would be lost without that call, lost.
Yes, that is so absolutely true, to have the accountability as a person, but also just hearing someone encourage you, right? And that's what this summit's about, like hearing an encouragement or something you can digest and move on. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for sharing this time with us today, and for listening to Christine and letting her open up her story. And I hope this has helped you. And if it's helped someone that you really know that could use this, please share, okay? Because I know there's so many families and lives that are out there that have been touched by cancer, or just touched by not knowing what step to take, or going through chemo and radiation, and they're just not feeling good about themselves. So this is something, you know, this is a light. This is the light to see that you can do another thing. You don't have to always go just one way, right? And feel about being in alignment, but feeling also about your gut and what that means for you, for what you need to do for your body, because your body is different than the other person going through cancer. So you want to know what feels right for you, and also know that you can make a choice for your body and your mind, and believe that that can happen like Christine has. So I just want to say thank you everyone for tapping in. I'm going to let Christine say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you so much. And the book, I didn't even mention the book, The Healthy Girls. Yeah, The Healthy Girls Guides to Breast Cancer. You can get it on my website. You can get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those other great places.
Thank you so much. I did mention it in the beginning, but yeah, that book is looks like it just sends joy to everyone, and you need to see a different perspective, right? So thank you everyone, and make sure you share, but come back and we have another episode tonight. I just will see you there. Bye.
Bye.